So, thank you so much. I must say, I'm both nervous and really excited about everybody that's in the room this evening. Seated around this room are the leaders, some of whom you saw that came before me and invested incredibly in the success of this foundation and in this district. We also have a wonderful blend, as you heard in the introduction, of city, county, and state leaders and our local trustees who care deeply about our students and our community. And so I thank you so much for the decisions and the investments that you make on behalf of our Central students. I'd also like to take a minute to recognize the team that I have that is incredibly helpful in the work that we do each day. And so I'm going to ask the executive team that's right over here to stand up briefly to be recognized. Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources, Jack Collegian. Assistant Superintendent Educational Services, Dr. Tammy Boatwright. Assistant Superintendent Executive Business Services, Amir Iqbal. And Assistant Superintendent of Student and Family Services, Dr. Madeline Lopez. I didn't tell them I was going to do that. In addition, I'm not sure where she is in the room. Where's Angie Aguirre in this room? There she is. So I want to also recognize our CSEA President, Angie Aguirre. Thank you so much for the work that we do together. And then additionally, I'm joined over at this table by my husband, who is also an educator of over 30 years, one of my two children, JD, and my parents, Chuck and Sandy Patterson, who agree to join me every year so that I can thank them publicly for the love that they have instilled in me in education. Very important in our household that education is a part of our lives, and it really created the space and the passion. I did not become an engineer, some of you may recall that story, and instead chose this passion, and I'm so thankful for it. So thank you for all that you do. They're very patient, and they help me make it through some days. So some of you may know that all of my educational life, 32 years, almost all of it has been in Central. And this is my home. The students, the families, the staff that are seated all around this room have always inspired me to keep learning, to solve problems, to create solutions, and to open doors so that others can do that. And ultimately, so that all of our students that we serve when they turn 3 and start joining our family can graduate and be really successful in careers and return, as Joe mentioned in the video, come back into our community and give back. I'm excited that you're all here to celebrate with us. I told you I was a little nervous because you're all here. And I also was asked by Serena and felt very happy to take a few minutes to talk a little bit about our wins, to talk about what's happening in Central Unified. You've heard about what our foundation is doing, and so I'm going to follow really the same pattern of those pillars to tell you a little bit about what's happening in our district. I'm excited to start, of course, with education, because that is our purpose. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. That was credit to Nelson Mandela, and one of many quotes about the power of education. And that's why we exist. So we're going to start with academics. We are currently among similar schools from Sacramento to Bakersfield, ranked 4th and moving up. We're working really hard academically to improve outcomes for our students. Our graduation rates increase each year, and this year, this spring, will be our first class of students that will receive their AA degree from Fresno City College 1 week and their high school diploma the next week. Thank you so much, Fresno City College. Our partnership with both Fresno City College and some of our ag classes that are tied to Reedley College has meant that this last season, over 2,822 credits were earned by our students, and we were told that we had the highest pass rate in the Valley, over 95% that our students are passing those college classes as high school students. Pretty amazing. I want to thank the foundation as well, because a few years ago, thinking about those creative solutions where they can come in alongside us and help, one of our foundation leads, Corbin Gunstream, brought forward an idea, and a lot of people rallied behind it, that one of the ways to donate and serve would be to provide textbooks for students who are taking college courses. We can do that during the day when they take classes with us at school, but I don't know if any of you remember buying a textbook, or you're buying them for children in your household. They're not very cheap, and the foundation really saw that for kids taking classes beyond the school day, during the summer, during the winter, if they could remove that barrier, perhaps more students to take classes, and lo and behold, that's what's happening. So thank you to our foundation for that work. Yeah, let's go with my hand. This past year as well, I know Jill Young's somewhere here in the room. Not sure if she is. I don't see her right now. But this last year, the California Department of Education recognized both our Pathway Continuation High School, there she is, right there in the back, Pathway Continuation High School, and the Pathway Community Day in Pershing Continuation High School. I'm sorry, I was so busy trying to find where our team was at that table. That is pretty incredible. It's the first year recognized, and we're one of 8 schools in the state of California. So around the state of California, if you're looking at alternative solutions for how to serve students and help them to graduate, they're now coming to look at our schools. So great job to all of you back there. Early literacy, so now let's go to the other side of it. Early literacy and math foundations are really, really important for our students to succeed in school. We've got a lot of training that's going on. We've added after-school programs at every single one of our schools so students can have both the support they need academically as well as enrichment activities. And the team works tirelessly to make sure there's no wait list. If students need to be in the program, they work to bring the staff in to do that work. That happens in winter, it happens in the summer as well, so we make sure students have the opportunities that they need. And this last year, we did receive grant funding for 5 of our elementary schools to expand that even further in what's called a community schools grant. And so not only looking at the academic needs, the activities and things students might need, but looking at the entire family and figuring out what are the family's needs at this school and extending that 7 days a week. And so we're really excited about those ventures because what we know is if our students are well and the barriers are removed so that they can come to school, then we can help them. We can get them to learn and we can get them to graduate and then find a love that they like or are interested in pursuing and decide whether that's a career or going on to college. That's the fun part we get to have. So let's talk about career pathways. We have nursing, criminology, education, business, engineering, hospitality, athletic training, and I want to stop for a minute at ag because as you heard on this, one of the pathways that the foundation supports is our ag pathway. It's located at Central High School. Currently, it has about 335 students. 80 of those are middle schoolers. So a few years, Chris Williams and his team, and Dave Holterman, thank you, sent the staff into our middle schools to start giving an introduction to agriculture in the elective wheels for students. And so we've got 80 students who are getting their first degree in the FFA process. The popular classes I hear from Principal Holterman right now are ag mechanics and floral design, which I believe our centerpieces this evening are from our floral design class. And I'm thrilled to announce that Logan Wood, one of our students, is a national finalist for his ag mechanics proficiency. And educator Chris Williams, who is here this evening as one of our champions, is leaving tomorrow, Saturday? So in the next 24 hours, because he will be receiving the honorary National Farmer degree at the 2024 National Convention. And he, like many, does not love the spotlight, so thank you for letting me do that. There's not enough time to share all the awards that have just been accrued at the Fresno Fair in the last week, but we'll be celebrating them on social media, so please be sure to watch. We also invest in the arts. I'd like to jump over to the arts. You've seen some of our dancers. You'll see more in just a few minutes. Beginning in elementary school, students have a chance to do and explore music, dance, art, theater, and really find out what they love so that when they get to middle school and high school and into these programs, you're going to meet Evelyn Shu in a few minutes as well, they can have amazing opportunities and really excel in the art of performance and what other type of art they're interested in. Central East High School graduates still talk about their experience going and playing in Carnegie Hall. The Justin Garzela High School Choir, led by Evelyn Shu, was selected just recently to perform at the CMEA State Music Festival. The only choir in our valley, in our area. You'll be representing all of us, so thank you so much. A huge honor. Rio Vista's band, El Capitan's band, Glacier Point and Rio Vista's choirs have all already been selected to participate in prestigious events this spring. You learn in the classroom, but really that performance out in the field and in front of others really helps develop that love that continues well beyond us. And if you follow social media, you may know, our social media, you may know that one of our artists from El Capitan, who is now a student at Central High School, Rajinder Kaur Jandu, just was recently awarded the grand prize of Fresno County's One Voice. It was a Spirit of 9/11 art contest. She did an acrylic painting of the memorial of 9/11, and she won the grand prize, which means she, her teacher librarian, and one of her parents are going to have the honor of traveling to the memorial, and I believe to the Statue of Liberty as well. And in talking to her, she wasn't alive when it occurred. Her parents got married on that day, but her sense of understanding art and understanding what it means was just incredible, and so we were so thrilled that she won that award. She's not here, but I just couldn't help but brag for a minute on her behalf. You've seen our folklorico dancers. They're sought throughout the valley. I talked to them earlier. They were already at another performance earlier today. Our flamenco guitars, I hope you heard them earlier. Percussion, our theater. As a matter of fact, Adam's family is playing in our Performance Arts Center. You can see that tomorrow night if you needed something to do. And I'm wondering, has anyone around here caught the pickleball fever? I know you have. So I'm a former tennis player, and so I'm definitely an advocate. I don't have to move around as much. But I bring it up because that's my transition into athletics. So we've launched a pickleball camp because helping students to fall in love with racket sports has to be a little bit different now. And so pickleball camp is very popular. We are providing affordable swim lessons. We have canals in our neighborhood. It's really important that our students all know how to swim. And we reopened our Central East Aquatics Complex this summer for public swimming, which was the first time since 2019. Students can begin participating in sports. I see a lot of people around the room that are elementary athletic directors. You get them started, you get them interested in all different sports so that when they get to middle school and high school, they can compete at a variety of levels. We've added at Justin Garza High School new facility at their campus. So thank you to our Board of Trustees for all of the work and support of that effort. And then behind the Collegian Stadium and the track, we will be opening a community amazing space for soccer and also for futsal. We're really excited for our school and our community to enjoy in that. But I thought maybe I should also give you a few statistics really fast about athletics. So Central East and Central High School, this is the last year that they are playing together because next year they will open up and have their own arts and athletics out at Central High School, formerly named West Campus. But this last year, 20 of their athletes signed a national letter of intent to play a collegiate sport. They were softball league champs. They received the National Banner Honor Roll Schools for Special Olympics. Thank you, Principal Edmonds, I believe, and his team that are here. And following a state championship in both women's basketball and football a few years ago. Not too bad. And if you like watching football on Sundays, I think you can find Jalen Johnson or you can find Xavier Worthy and a handful of other collegiate athletes that are out there playing. They're Central Grizzlies. All my sports friends that I work with are like, you forgot this one and this one and this one. Our new high school, Justin Garza, also had 20 athletes sign national letters of intent, which is incredible as the school is just beginning. Cheer for Justin Garza won Division I state championships this last year. Boys soccer, Division IV section champs. Girls wrestling, Division II section champs with 2 female wrestlers placing at state. Not too bad, right? I also want to share in regards to athletics that I'm incredibly proud of how our team works for inclusivity in sports. I mentioned that Special Olympics honor roll. It is such fun to see students with all types of abilities getting together and playing outside. and engaging in activities that aren't on phones and are social and not necessarily even competitive, although somehow they always end up competitive because they have so much fun. And we've been recognized for that. Central East High School, Principal Edmonds, ESPN champions this last year, National Special Olympics honor roll. That's pretty incredible for it to be recognized at that level. Rio Vista every year hosts 4 inclusive athletic events for students from all over, from our schools as well as other districts: soccer, basketball, bowling, and softball for students to play together. And this past winter, we have an adaptive PE duo, Ms. Boyer and Ms. Pignon, who teamed up for a rolling rally. And so they roll around to every elementary school and do inclusivity awareness for all of the students in our elementary schools. And it's this December, so watch out for it. It's going to be great. I mentioned that students to exceed have to also have all those supports that they need. And so I'm incredibly thankful for the foundation board and for Serena Dohe, who moved in front on adding a pillar for well-being. We have various clubs. We have a NAMI club. We have groups at our schools that are really aware of how important wellness is and how much support sometimes people need, and maybe they don't want to ask for it. And so I love that our foundation has found creative ways and opportunities to give funds for clubs to get started, to have, as you saw in the video, food pantries, places for students to have clothes for that interview, or for prom, or for graduation, or for an FFA event, or just for clothes for the season that they may need for them and their siblings. To have other students be able to provide for one another and build that love for service is incredible, and so I love that it has been added into our pillars. I'd also love to add that our Board of Trustees has really supported this effort. Now at this time, we have intervention counselors at every school. We have on-campus thinkeries or spaces for students to dysregulate, to calm down, catch their breath, get right back into academics, making good choices to keep them in school. We've expanded partnerships. We have an All for Youth program through Fresno County's Office of Education that allows for a lot more of the mental health services that our students and families need, so we can provide to a certain level and then partner with them. And then this last year, we added a family outreach liaison who speaks the primary language of the school that they work at to serve, and a lot of them are here tonight, so thank you so much for what you do to reduce the barriers that may keep a parent from understanding how they can help their child, and it's an incredible experience, so thank you so much for what you do. So, sure. I'm not as nervous, but I didn't mind a clap and to catch my breath. As we celebrate the milestones of the new pillar and all that our schools and students are doing, we are also looking forward to some exciting new things. We are opening a new elementary school this next school year at Shields and Brawley. You can see that going up. Thank you to all of our partners that are here that are working on that. I mentioned to you that we're expanding Central High School. Central West Campus will be adding athletics and arts to their campus next year, so it's a standalone campus. And then with some attendance boundary changes, for the first time in our history, we'll have the opportunity to have a middle school, high school pathway. So when we added academic counselors at our middle school now, we can really see some work forming from a team of our individuals to take students as they're in 6th grade all the way through what their opportunities are for high school. So I'm excited about that. We're improving facilities. If you drive around our district, if you've talked to some of the people around this table, they're working hard to make sure that our schools are in good repair and that we're building what's needed for the students that we have in our district and that are moving to our district. We do have a bond, Measure X, that's on the ballot. I won't tell you how to vote, but I will encourage you to vote, please, whichever way you choose. But for us, this bond, if it does pass, will allow funding for us to do ongoing program improvements for our aging schools. And we want to make sure that students, regardless of where they live, what neighborhood they live in, and what school they go to, that we take really good care and pride in the school that they enter each day. In closing, I want to express my deep gratitude for all of you in this room. Somebody invited you into this room, you're connected to someone, you work with someone, you work with us, you support us in the decisions and in your elected office. to make sure our schools are successful, to make sure our community has the resources that are needed, and that collectively that we can make sure our students graduate ready to do what it is that is their passion, and also to come back and give back into our community, and that's what makes our community stronger. So as we celebrate the 20 years of impact, I'd love to encourage you to recommit to the cause of education. It's a tough job. It's an important job. We have amazing people doing the work, and I'm so thankful and so proud to work alongside you. And to all of you that support an educator, someone in the educational system that does whatever work that needs to be done to make sure our district runs, I thank you for that support as well. And I'd love to transition in a few minutes to showing some of our champions in each of these pillars that we have. So thank you so much. Sarita Dohi, where did you go? She's probably catching her breath or running around somewhere, so I'll save a thank you to her for just a minute. I'm going to transition now. I first thank you again for your commitment to our district, but I'd like to also bring up some students because it's way more fun if I end what I'm talking about with some kids. And so I am going to introduce, looking for where they are they ready to go? I see Oleza, okay. We have a performance that's going to get your heart pounding, there they are, and your feet tapping, not bad. And the music's going to work. So let's give a welcome to Harvest Elementary's Andra Dance Group. Thank you so much.